Hi, Ashley here with HeartHookHome.com, and today we are learning how to crochet the alternating single crochet spike stitch. This stitch creates these vertical columns that you can see going straight up. It is a little bit of a dense stitch. There isn't a lot of give to it, which means that this would be great for hot pads, washcloths, trivets, things like that, anything that needs to be used around the home. Because we are using the single crochet for this stitch, it does work up a little bit slower than other stitches, particularly because we are going down into the row below it every other stitch, which is why it's called the alternating single crochet spike stitch. So let us learn how to crochet this stitch together. Because this stitch is so dense, I have found that it helps to go up at least one, maybe even two hook sizes from what you normally would when crocheting with that particular yarn. We are going to start with an odd number of chains because we are going to single crochet our way back through, and the last chain made will be the side of our first row. Here's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Any odd number will work. Look into the back bar, and we're going to single crochet in the second chain from the hook and in each chain all the way to the end. So make your single crochets. If you wanted to do a foundation single crochet for this row, I don't see why that would not work. So now we are done with our initial row, which is the single crochet row. You should have an even number of stitches when you get to this point. Now we are going to start the actual stitch where you chain one and turn and look at the back side. We're going to place a single crochet in each of these first two stitches, just one single crochet in each of those. There we go. And this is every single row from here until you're finished with your project. So you've done your first two single crochets. Now we're going to single crochet around the next one. So this is a single crochet spike stitch. So what we're going to do is we're going to place our hook in the base of the stitch below it, right? So right here, this is actually going into the chain, our initial foundation chain. Pull that loop up. You want to kind of keep this a little bit on the loose side because it needs to be nice and tall. And it's going down into the row below it. Now we're going to go into the next stitch. So don't go into this one. It's kind of hard to see. You went around this one, so we're going to go into this one. Single crochet. And now we're going to do a spike stitch in the next one. So we're going to go down into this bottom hole right here, which is technically the row below it. Make sure that you're not doing that one too tight. Finish your single crochet. Single crochet in the next. And we're going to do a spike single crochet in the next, which is going into this hole at the base of that stitch. Make sure that's not too tight. Go into the regular single crochet in the next stitch. And we're going to do a spike stitch in the next. Do a single crochet in the last stitch of the row. And now we are going to just repeat this row over and over and over again. Now that we have this basic foundation row created, the first actual alternating spike stitch row, it's much easier to see where to place your stitches in the following rows. So let's do those together. We're going to chain one and turn, as always. We're going to do the first two stitches as single crochets, 1 and 2. Perfect. And now we are ready to start with our spike, single, spike, single, spike, single, all the way to the end of the row. So now we are going to do a long stitch. I like to think when I'm just working this pattern and I'm sitting down on the couch and I'm just going to town, I like to look at these, and let's zoom in so I can show you what I'm looking at here. So if you are looking at this swatch here, you can see that this leg of this stitch right here is much shorter than the leg of this stitch right here, right? So when you're looking at the back side of these stitches, every time you turn and you're starting a new row, every time you see one of these shorter ones, that means you're going to have a spike stitch in there. And when you see one of the longer ones, we're going to put a single crochet in the top of that. And then the next one is a short one, so we're going to put a long one into that. And then the next one is a long one, so we're going to put a short one into that. So whatever you see as the leg of the stitch you're going into, it should always be the opposite, if that makes sense, right? So we've got a short one, so I'm going to put a long one. I've got a long one, I'm going to put a short one. I've got a short one, I'm going to put a long one. And you're always going to alternate. And if you're staying on pace with the pattern, that will always naturally happen anyway. Just as you're crocheting, I find it helpful to know that you're always going to be going the opposite of whatever that stitch looks like. So now that we know that this is a short one, we're going to stick our hook way down in the base of that stitch where that is in the previous row, right? Pull up your loop, make sure that when you do these spike stitches that your loop isn't too tight because it'll make the whole thing just really dense. So we're going to finish that single crochet, and now we're looking at one that has a longer leg, right? So we're going to do a single crochet in the top of it. And we're just alternating the spike stitch with the regular single crochet all the way across. So now we're going to go down into the bottom, and you can tell, see where this hole is right here? That's where we're going in, right at the base of this stitch right here. And we're just making sure that those spike stitches are nice and tall. And you don't want it so tall that you've got this loosey-goosey bit, so I'm going to tighten that one up just a little bit, but you want it to be definitely as tall as the rest of your regular single crochet stitches. So I'm going to continue all the way to the end of the row. You remember you should always end with a spike and then a single in the last. And then to start a new row, chain one and turn, do a single crochet, regular, single crochet, regular, and now look what we've got here. We've got a short leg, so we're going to do a long one and a short, and a long one and a short. We're just going to continue all the way. So that is how you crochet the single crochet alternating spike stitch. Isn't that lovely? I love it. Hope you love this too. Thanks for crocheting with me, and I look forward to seeing you soon.